could the minister possibly know everyone? And I was concerned if I died, he wouldn't have a clue who he was burying. So for the next 3 months, every Sunday, I told David my name. He'd shake my hand and he'd smile. Then one Sunday, he held my hand a little bit longer, smiled, and he said, "I know who you are." Well, it was then that I knew that this was a person our family would come to love very much. Well, it wasn't too long after that that the minister called, and he said he was coming for a visit. He wanted me for a committee. Don't remember which one. Well, I did what you're supposed to do when the minister comes calling. I dusted. I made muffins. And I put the teapot on. It was during that visit that I learned tea wasn't David's beverage of choice. Nor was it mine. So began our journey. For the next number of years, a couple of times a year, David would pop in for a visit, and we would enjoy some refreshments, and we would chat. It was during these chats that I learned what a deep love David had for the United Church of Canada, and especially Bedford United Church and its congregation. I also knew what a great supporter he was of our UCW organization and our UCW members. We knew he appreciated all our hard work and never failed to tell us so, especially after we had been in the kitchen after a funeral for 5 hours. Somewhere along the way, I had an idea, but I didn't act on it until David announced his retirement. He popped in for a visit, and I asked him if he ever considered becoming a moderator of the United Church of Canada. His reply was, "Interesting idea." So it began. I talked to several people in the congregation, and they thought, "Hey, that is a good idea." And someone even said it was a brilliant idea. So last July, I went to council and proposed that they ask Presbytery to nominate David as a candidate for moderator. Now, in the United Church, you have to jump through several hoops to get something accomplished. The last hoop was accomplished at the AGM of Maritime Conference in May. So David is well on his way to General Council next month as a commissioner. Now, David, you did say that I was a midwife in this idea. I will be at the next General Council next month, and even though I am the midwife, I can't be in the delivery room. I will be with Darrell, pacing the floor. However, I am confident that the labor will be smooth, and Reverend Gloria Churchill and a few other 100 other wise commissioners will safely deliver you as our next moderator. One more thing. I didn't realize, David, how far our journey had come until last month when you and I were traveling to Presbytery, and you asked my advice on something, and you called me Mom. Just a reminder that the second Sunday in May is Mother's Day.
Actually, she's not a midwife. What she's actually doing, very Nova Scotia political thing, she's taking little bottles of rum. Okay, there's one less little bottle. have to go to bed. So when I began the process of building David's books of memories, my job was to collect personal notes. And when I was looking for inspiration for what to say tonight, to describe David's impact on us, I went to these words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the excerpts and quotes from the notes, we call them, from the people that submitted for his book, and the two copies that are over the desk that people are cruising through, and just a summary of some of the sentiment to David. So these are some of the quotes. You're never too busy to give a hug, and you have a great laugh. Your witness has taught you that, 1, laughing in moments of tension releases tension. 2, courageous creativity in worship stimulates heart and gray matter, provoking new conversations, a special way of comforting the afflicted and afflicting the comfortable. 3, a mind that stretches wide when engaging problems can often discover the best way forward, and 4, the combination of brilliancy and compassion are great gifts to ministry. Your numerous, thoughtful, mind-expanding Sunday reflections have left me many times with lingering impacts. Thinking afterwards, pondering, or even ruminating over your messages has impacted my life. You have taught me more things about God than I was ever aware of. All members of the congregation that put their sentiments in notes today. I will miss you dearly. I always look forward to our hugs at the end of the service. I have great love and respect for you. I have learned to explore my beliefs, stretch and broaden my mind, and learn more. I have learned to be compassionate and see God in all beings. Other things were just the right thing to do, like becoming a affirming congregation and welcoming our Alva School family. You listened so intently and almost seemed to feel my pain. I was in such a bad place, and you were in my corner, there for me. I will never, ever have another David Hart. Nearly 20 years have passed since that ceremony, but you made it a spiritual service in a way that I shall never forget. Thank you for all your loving care to us as a congregation, to our larger geo-social community, and to me alone. These mean more than you can know. When very dear friends of mine were suffering such an overwhelming grief from the loss of their son, I felt so helpless and inadequate as a friend and a person to comfort them. You were so kind to take the time to meet with me and offer me advice and comfort. I walked away from our meeting with a sense of serenity and peace like I had never experienced before. My dear mother always said, when you reached out to someone in need or did a good deed and showed kindness and compassion, it was another star in your crown. David, you must have a glorious crown, or just your hat. I added that. You are truly one of those people that changed my mentality with your limitless bursts of enthusiasm, endless optimism, and your open and warm heart. You fall under that category of special people that I'm truly honored to have crossed paths with. Every interaction with you has led to a joyful memory, a meaningful lesson, or an inspiring discussion. History was made when we walked from Beth United Church down to Alva School Islamic Society. I look forward to working with you in future projects that bring people together, that unite hearts, that dispel misconceptions, and make this world a safer and more tolerant place. Thank you, David, for being anything but traditional, because many of us have been waiting for you our entire Christian life. Thank you for helping us be more comfortable inside our skin. Thank you for being human and being a man who also feels joy and sorrows. May the aroma of your positivity and the motivating scent of your persona continue shared to the world, with luck being your shadow and success being your best friend along the way. Thank you for everything you've given me. We would not be the people we are today had we not been so fortunate to meet you for many years ago. Your love of God, life and nature, and your tireless energy to inspire us all makes us the best we can be. We thank God for allowing us to know you all these years, to be our amazing spiritual leader and such a great friend. You have a gift, David, a gift of genuine compassion to care so much for all of us. We see it in your eyes. And when we talk to you, you always make us feel so loved. The care and love that you show towards us is astounding. Not to mention you give the best hugs ever. A friend who taught me right from wrong, a weak from strong, that's a lot to learn. What can I give you in return? If you wanted the sky, I would write across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high to serve with love. If you wanted the moon, I would try to make a start, but I'd rather that you give me my heart to serve with love. He is the embodiment of faith, preaching without saying a word, preaching through action. For me, you are a beloved friend, confidant, and guide. But I think I would like to thank most of all for your message of hopefulness. When unfortunate occurrences take place, whether social, environmental, or political, like the election of Donald Trump, sorry, I'm showing my biases, and tragedies happen like the Humboldt Broncos accident, you always recognize the importance of speaking of the incident and acknowledging the terrible circumstances. But by the end of your reflection, you have never failed to leave us without a feeling of hopefulness. I believe that sense of hopefulness is essential to our well-being, especially in these times we live. This last excerpt hit me the most because I think of this often. But when I saw it in someone else's words, and one of the teams on Thursday night mentioned the exact same thing at this Toast and Roast, it made me stop and think of how much this is a profound gift. That you can deliver a very real message so that we recognize our weaknesses or feel the pain of suffering in the world. But in the end, we leave hopeful. And we feel blessed and filled with the energy to do good and be good so we can make a difference. When I walk out the doors on Sunday, I feel a joyous responsibility to go and make a difference. We can make a difference. It is one of the reasons I work so hard as part of the team to make the interfaith relationship between DUC be so meaningful, and others will be so meaningful. Because you motivated me, you inspired me, all of us, to go out there and balance the scale just a little bit. It is the core of why we all love the sense of community at Bedford United Church. We are rooted in goodness. Someone else noted in their letter, in the wise words of Dr. Seuss, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. Now when you decided to stop wearing your robe, I was quite disappointed. I told you, I said, you're like the face of God. And he gave me one of those, now Darrell, that's exactly why I stopped it. It's I am not the church, we are the church. And that's pretty good, wasn't it? I had spent a lot of time with this man on last while. I understood what you were trying to teach us, but I never stopped thinking about understanding why it was important to me. But I've had my own revelation of this. You have a rare gift to be able to touch the Spirit, to reach through a window into that energy we call God and reflect it back to us. And you started meditating, I think it was age 18. I believe that you were called to do that so that you could realize your gift. When we were at the silent retreat, David was assigned a seat in front of me in the meditation hall. When I would open my eyes at the end of the hour-long meditations, I would see that you were so deep in the realm of possibilities that I knew that you were connecting with the Spirit. I tried to allow myself to go there. A couple of times I felt a tiny spark of just what it might be like to be inside. And it was a beautiful feeling, but it was a spark. So I think while you don't easily see yourself as the face of God, you may be able to understand what we mean if we see you as the portal to God. You can embrace and harness this other dimension, and we get to feel that energy beaming back to us. So in our eyes, you are the face of God. I'm going to close with a comment on our friendship, David, because I just can't get words up to you. You know how deeply I love you, and you and I will remain connected for the rest of our lives. I'm closing with one more quote from a note in Matthew 25:23. Well done, my good and faithful servant.